do it seem like a lot of people is starting to come over to this platform, YouTube? Like, it just seems like a lot of people are coming over here lately. But hello, if you are new here, my name is Shaneria, and I know why you clicked on this video. So don't even dare think about clicking off. Like, you like drama and you like the tea, and you seen that thumbnail, so you clicked on it, or the title. My name is Shaneria. This is Talking Crime. On this channel we do reaction videos, and today I have a reaction video for you. And if you are returning, you guys like, comment, and share like you always do. And you know how we like to do it. We like to get straight into the reaction video. Let's go.
Story time about how my middle school and high school teacher hated my guts all throughout school, and her husband ended up being madly in love with me and literally had a mental breakdown over me. Me and my friends think that this story is such a gag to this day. It might have to be 2 parts because the story is just long and just crazy. I went to a art school for middle school and high school, and there my magnet was theater, and I had this theater teacher. Let's call her Miss J. Oh, Miss J was so mean to me, you guys. Whenever she saw me, her whole demeanor just changed. She did not like me at all, and for absolutely no reason, you guys. I was raised to be very respectful to my elders, so I would never like cuss out a teacher. I wasn't late. I didn't skip school. I was a really good kid. So me and my friends, we were always like, why the hell is she always so mean to you? And she was also very weirdly judgy towards me. I've always been very naturally thin, but when I was in middle school and high school, I was probably 5'7" and 105 pounds on a good day. I was very skinny. I always got called skinny names, right? So my shorts and my skirts and stuff, they were a little short. They were. She would always be like, Germany, that skirt or those shorts are way too short, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, girl, like, I could see if all the teachers were like, Germany, that's a little bit inappropriate, then I could be like, okay, maybe they're right. She was the only one that ever said that out of my 6 years. Almost every other day she would make me put on this long ass skirt, and it's called a modesty cloth. So it's just, think of a big long ugly flowy maxi skirt. And it got to the point every time I went to her class, she would tell me to put this skirt on. So I just started putting on the skirt before I even went into the room. I just would go into the costume closet and just put on the skirt because I'm like, I know she's gonna say something. Basically sums up our whole relationship. She did not like me, and I would avoid her at all costs. Like, if I saw her coming down the hallway, I would turn the other way and just go a different way so I could avoid her. So boom, now I've graduated. I'm out of school. I never have to see her again. So now I'm a Hooters girl, and I'm working there, and I'm hustling and bustling to make money. And there's just one guy, he's always at the bar, but all the girls would circle around him, so I knew he was like a really good tipper. One day I'm walking by the bar, and he stops me, and he's like, hey, I think you are absolutely beautiful. I'm just like, thank you so much. You know, I'm being nice to him because he obviously tips that, and that was a nice compliment. And so the next day he comes in and he sits with me, and he's like, tell me more about yourself. And I tell him where I go to high school, and he's like, wait, my wife works at that high school. Come back for part 2.
Okay, so she started off telling us how her teacher didn't like her and used to put her on these little skirts or whatever because her shorts and skirts were too short or whatever. But then she confused me. Then she said she started working at Hooters. Did y'all hear that? She said she started working at Hooters, and then she went back to the point of telling the guy that gave her a nice compliment that she went to high school somewhere. So did she used to go to that high school, or she still go to that high school? That's what confused me. I'm thinking she said she used to go to that high school, but she kind of messed it up. So now at this point in time, she's out of high school and she's working at Hooters. Okay, this is what I'm getting out of it. Did y'all get the same thing out of it? And not the teacher trying to redress her.
Part 2 about how my middle school and high school teacher hated my guts, and her husband ended up falling in love with me and had a mental breakdown because of me. If you guys have not seen part 1, please go look at that right now. But I ended off saying that he came into my job and he wanted to sit with me that day. But first of all, let's call him Mr. J. And he is literally about 5'2", and he probably weighs, I'm not even kidding you guys, 90 pounds. And he is very, very, very flamboyant. What I mean by that is he is a total divo. This is how he talks. It's like, hello, darling. Like, do you like my suit? Like, I look so fabulous, don't I? I'm like, he talks like that. And every single day he would wear like a 3-piece suit. Back to the original story, he was like, my wife works at that school. And he was like, well, not my wife. She's about to be my ex-wife. We're getting a divorce. I'm like, okay, who is it? And then he's like, do you know a Miss J? And I'm like, shut up. I'm like, that was my theater teacher. And he was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Anyway, Mr. J now becomes my regular. He just comes in every single day to come see me. But then he starts bringing me in gifts that I did not ask for. I had an Android, right? And it was just like a crappy little phone, like whatever. He sees it and he's like, what's that? I'm like, it's my crappy phone. And he's like, oh my gosh, girl. And I'm like, I know. A couple days later, he comes in and he gifts me a new iPhone. I was like, what? I was like, oh my gosh, that's so nice. And he was like, yeah, that was the first gift. Then I was telling him about how I wanted to start my YouTube career. A couple days later, he brings me in a camera to record on. I'm thinking we are just like the best of pals. He's super funny. Like I told you, he talks like a diva. He talks like a real housewife. Little did I know, he's literally falling in love with me. Now let's go back to when he said that he was getting a divorce from my theater teacher. The reason why they got a divorce is so crazy. It was so bad that she left the school. She left the state because of how embarrassed she was about what went down. If you guys want to know why they got a divorce, that's just like a whole video in itself, and I will let you know. One of the Hooters girls that was like a mutual friend of ours, she moved like states away, and my birthday was coming up, so he surprised me and he was like, hey, I got us plane tickets and hotel tickets to go see our friend. I was like, what? Like, why would you think that I would go on a plane and like stay at a hotel with you? I hate that I have to do this to you guys, but there has to be a part 3. This is where everything gets so weird and he just goes insane.
I'm just trying to figure out, why would she think that those gifts was just something free, something he just wanted to do her a favor or be her friend? No, he was trying to work his way in of getting some, and it was creepy as hell. Because first of all, sir, you're way older than her. So coming to Hooters and looking at her, checking her out, and buying her all these different gifts when you really don't know her like that is crazy. But for you to take them, allow him to know that he probably thought that you knew exactly what he was trying to do. He was trying to buy you to will your way in. Because first it started with a phone, then it started with a camera for YouTube, and then tickets to a hotel and a flight. Girl, he was literally trying to get in the bed with you. FYI, you were working at Hooters. Like, taking it from him mean that you accept what he got going on, taking gifts, even if you didn't ask for it.
Part 3 about how my middle school and high school teacher hated my guts and her husband ended up falling in love with me and had a mental breakdown because of me. If you guys have not seen the first 2 parts, please go look at them right now. Okay, before I get into his mental breakdown, let me tell you guys why they ended up getting a divorce. My theater teacher's husband's dad was apparently in the mafia. Like I said, he's from Italy and he was rich, and his dad apparently was in the mafia. Okay, so the FBI like, I'm not making this up, the FBI was gathering data about his dad and the mafia and all this kind of stuff, right? They thought that he had some ties to the mafia, so the FBI came inside of my high school, went to my theater teacher's room while class was in session, told her in front of everyone that they have to take her computer because they are doing an investigation on her husband, and they need her computer as evidence. So they confiscate her big old monitor and they take it out of the school. And if you know my theater teacher, you know that she was such a drama queen. She was so snooty. The fact that this was happening to her was so embarrassing for her that she filed for divorce from him and she packed up and she moved states away to go work at another school. She finished out that little school year and she said, deuces, like, this is way too much for me. I'm too embarrassed. I guess everything ended up working out and he didn't end up going to jail, but yeah, that definitely happened. Okay, back to his mental breakdown. So he told me that he got these tickets and this hotel room for us to go see our friend. And I was like, wait, what? No. I'm like, thanks. Like, I don't know what to say. I'm just nervous. I'm at work. I'm like, I don't know what to say. Don't know what to do. Anyway, the weekend comes and we're supposed to like go off and I'm like, I'm not going. So I text him and I'm like, yo, I'm not going with you. I'm actually going to New York with my friends for my birthday, which is what I did. I went to New York with my friends and I had a great time. So while I'm gone to New York, this is when we were supposed to go to Houston. He goes inside of my job to Hooters, disheveled. Usually he has on a 3-piece suit. His hair is always combed back. The girls at my job are texting me and they're like, Mr. J is in here and he's acting insane and he's acting like he is so depressed and so upset at you for going to New York and not going to Houston with him. I'm like, what? Like, girl, he looks crazy. Just think of like a guy that's always super, super put together. And then he comes in with his shirt all unbuttoned and like off on the side, his hair crazy, his pants like hanging down, like looking like an actual bum and telling everyone that he's so depressed and so sad that you didn't go with him. And that's why he's acting and looking like this. So obviously I'm so embarrassed because I'm like, dude, you're making people think that we have something going on and there's absolutely nothing going on. Why are you that upset that I didn't go with you? And I went to New York with my actual friend. I did not ask you to buy any tickets. I didn't ask you for any of this stuff. You just keep giving it to me. And when I finally was like, absolutely not, I'm not going with you there, you're acting like I'm like ruining your life. So I guess he goes into Hooters like a couple more times looking crazy like that and acting all depressed and like just at the table with his head down and like just acting so insane, you guys. Finally text him and I'm like, yo, you need to stop coming into my job. You need to stop acting crazy. And like, this is completely unacceptable. You are freaking me out. He sends me a text or he calls me, something that's happened so many years ago. He's like, Germany, I'm so in love with you. Like, you are just everything. You're my dream girl. I want to marry you. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I have to cut you all the way off. You cannot come into my job anymore. I don't want to see you anymore. Please don't come in. Leave me alone. I literally have a boyfriend. You are weird. And it's just so crazy to me that my theater teacher was with a guy like that. Like, anyway, I cut him off and it was like, I don't know, however long later, he like came in again to like see me and I'm just like, hey, what's up? And he was like normal again, but he only came in like maybe 1 or 2 other times and then I didn't see him for maybe like a year, and then he would just come in like yearly. Talk to him and maybe like 5 years. I wonder how he's doing. I wonder if he's alive. I cannot believe that he acted like that. That is the story about how my middle school and high school teacher hated my guts all throughout school, and her husband ended up falling in love with me and had a total mental breakdown because of me. I hope this video is entertaining for you, and I will see you in my next one.
That's probably the real reason why him and his wife was getting a divorce. He was staying at Hooters all the time and buying young girls gifts.
Part 4 about how my middle school and high school teacher hated my guts all throughout school, and then her husband ended up falling in love with me and had a mental breakdown because of me. So before I get into the whole tea about my teacher finding out about all of this, I'm going to clear up a few things that I've been seeing in the comments. So first, a lot of people think I was in high school and I definitely wasn't. When I started working at Hooters, I was definitely 21. I think I misspoke in my first video, but I was definitely not a minor. dinner. Next, a lot of you thought that I was leading him on because I was accepting the gifts, and you guys felt like I should not have taken the gifts. First of all, I never would ask him for anything. The conversation could go something like, oh yeah, I really want to start my YouTube, like I just need to save up for a camera, blah blah blah. I never was asking him for anything. He would just show up with it. And that really was not unheard of at Hooters.
You was more like bringing it up because you know from the first time you mentioned something like the phone, he bought it. So to me, I feel like you was bringing certain things up because you know he would go and buy it. Like, that's what it sounds like. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to judge you, but I mean, why bring it up when you know that he gonna try to get it to you because he trying to buy you?
At Hooters, actually that happens all the time. A lot of you wanted to know why I did not tell my mom that my theater teacher was so mean to me, and it's honestly because if I would have told my mom about that, she would have went up to my school and acted a fool. And I know my mother, I love my mother, I know how that would have went down, and I really just didn't want the school to get flipped upside down. Because the first time that my theater teacher would have like said something smart to my mom would have turned all the way up. And I also had to deal with this lady every day for 6 years, so I just didn't want any problems. Then another thing I saw was a lot of you felt bad for Mr. J. I want you to know that any man that goes inside of Hooters every single day is a creep. You know what you're doing. This is not a normal restaurant.
Wait a minute. Every man that goes inside of Hooters every day is a creep. But you work in Hooters, so you know that these men like looking at women. Hooters is a place where y'all wear little stuff and men look at you. Why call him a creep now? You're working there. What does that make you?
Normal restaurant. You know what you are doing. Do not feel bad for him. I really don't think you guys are picturing this guy correctly. I'm really gonna try to paint a picture. So think of a 5'2" on a good day man. He's very, very...
I don't know who in her comment section felt bad for him, but I ain't feel bad at all. Sir, you know exactly what you're doing. That girl is not your age. She's not even near your age. That girl is a young girl to you, just starting out in the real world. You are definitely trying to bribe that young girl to sleep with her. That's probably why your wife leaving you in the first place. That is creepy.
Very skinny, about 90 pounds. He has this like comb over situation that's obviously balding. He has on this 3-piece suit like an Italian mobster. His demeanor and how he talks is kind of like Todd Chrisley from the Chrisleys, but he's Italian and he has this really thick Jersey accent. Now let me give a really good impersonation. This is how he would come in. He'd be like, darling, oh my god, traffic was just a mess. Please get me a cup of coffee. I gotta talk this over. And then he'd be like, oh, you look so fabulous today, darling. You look beautiful. Oh my gosh, you're so stunning. But that's how he would talk, and he would kiki and be like, darling, let me just tell you about my divorce. You gotta just know all the ins and outs, darling. Like, that's him. That's how he talks. And so he's just he's so girly. He's so feminine. There was just absolutely no romance between us at all. So when you guys say that I was leading him on, I'm like, no, I wasn't. He's just crazy. Another thing you guys were wondering about was why didn't my job do anything when he was acting crazy? It's Hooters. They don't care about anything. They don't care at all. And Mr. J was so harmless, you guys. He wasn't a threat. So it was just kind of, I never felt threatened by him. It was just more embarrassing. Okay, I'm going to make a part 5 and then we're gonna talk about my teacher finding out.
Good job for that teacher for divorcing him.
Part 5 about how my middle school and high school teacher hated my guts all throughout school, and her husband ended up falling in love with me and had a mental breakdown because of me. Y'all, in this part, I'm gonna tell you about how my teacher found out. This whole story is so messy. And the best part is I have screenshots. So these screenshots are gonna be between me and the student assistant theater teacher. Let's call her Miss Honey. Let me just give you a little background to you. She was so nice, you guys. She was exactly what a teacher should have been. She was a student teacher, so she was like young and relatable and funny, and I literally loved Miss Honey so much. So after we graduated, Miss Honey moved to New York. Okay, now let's get into the screenshots. So we were talking about something before this, but it was irrelevant. So she says, I miss you, Germ. Then she says, Miss J and I were talking about you when she was here. So Miss J went to New York, and I'm guessing her and Miss Honey had dinner. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go see my friend, blah, blah, blah. Maybe we can all get together. And then she said there was some funny drama. And at that point, I was just, my heart kind of sank because first of all, this whole situation was very, very embarrassing. So now that it's getting around was just like crazy for me. The fact that she knew about this was just too much. I really just got into the headspace of, I don't even want to know what she felt about the situation, because I don't know, I just felt like I would get anxiety about that. I really just wanted this whole situation to go away. So that's why I really didn't pry when she said that. So that's why I was like, ooh, I'm shook, girl, like, ooh. So I was like, yeah, her ex-husband comes into my job every single day. And this is how I found out that Miss J knew that her husband was obsessed with me. This man told my theater teacher that we were getting married, that apparently he has proposed to me, and I said I do. I'm just laughing it off and trying to downplay the whole situation. So I'm like, haha, he's crazy. And she's like, yeah. Honestly, you guys, this happened so many years ago, so I forgot about some of the things. But I said I think he's on drugs, and thinking back, like, yeah, I remember thinking this man has to be on drugs to be acting like this. He has to be coked out of his mind. Y'all, I went digging for these screenshots last night because I knew that I had this conversation with Miss Honey. So I'm like looking on Instagram, and I forgot. So you guys remember when I said that he came into my job and he looked crazy? I forgot that this man, he obviously had dentures, and he came in without his dentures as well. So he is remember, I'm telling you, his shirt's all messed up, he has coffee stains, his hair is all crazy, his pants are all loose and wrinkled and looks a mess. And this man also had the audacity to take out his teeth. I forgot about this. That's when I was like, oh my gosh, he's lost his mind. He took out his teeth, and he was in there with no teeth, just gums talking to people. And to go from being all put together to having your teeth out and you looking like that, I was like, oh, he's crazy, he's on drugs. And so basically the conversation just ends with her saying, wow. And then I'm like, yeah, I know, but when I come to New York, let's get together. So she sends me her number, and I send her hers. But I never talked to her about how my theater teacher felt about all of this, because I knew it could only be one or two things. One, she hates me, or two, she still hates me. I knew that she wasn't going to say anything good or in my favor, so I just didn't even want that energy. I didn't press it. I didn't want to know. That's why I just kind of left it as is. I thought that those screenshots were such a gag, and some people thought I was making this up, but I'm like, I'm not making this up. Like, okay guys, that is the story. If you guys want me to continue to do some stories, I think I will, maybe like once a month. I don't want to be the messy makeup channel, but I did think this video was funny, and I hope it was entertaining, and I will see you guys in my next one.
What can I say? Where can I start? Girl, you are definitely messy. Part 3, you said that he came in to your job when you wasn't there, disheveled, because you're supposed to be going to Texas or whatever with him. He bought a hotel room and plane tickets for y'all to go. Of course he's disheveled. You played the man in his face. You literally did. You literally start conversations with him, telling him what you need so he can buy it. You can convince everybody else that that's not what it was, but it is. It's most definitely is. And you're supposed to be telling the story of how your teacher didn't like you, but all I was getting is she was trying to tell you to put on some damn clothes, like, period. And then after that, you just, oh, she tell me to do it every day, and you just figured she couldn't stand you. Like, I don't know, because you skipped over that part of the whole story and just talk about how you was playing her man, soon to be ex-husband, in his face. And then not only that, like, I don't know who the fuck would feel sorry for him. Like, this girl 21, she's young as hell, and you in here trying to buy her, and now you mad because she played in your face. And you taking the little gifts, and you got a whole man and everything. Well, he probably didn't even care because he ain't had to buy it. Y'all was young, and you worked at Hooters, so he didn't care. He didn't care at all. And you did play that old ass man, just like that old ass man was trying to get some from you. He wasn't just doing that for free. You know, if your mama and them taught you well, you know that a lot of times, often, especially if you're not even dating that person, it's not for free. It's not for free. And that's why you kept mentioning things you needed. He played himself. At the end of the day, you are a young, beautiful lady working at Hooters. What else he thought he was going to get from that? What else? He thought he was going to wife you up after his wife left him because his family ties are crazy and she didn't want no parts of it no more. He was disheveled, not only because you played in his face, but his wife left him in the dust, honey. She left him in the dust. There's no telling what she was going through with that man. And she probably didn't give two that he was saying that he was going to marry you. Right in the jump, like, what? Why you texting me that? Like, she probably looked like, okay, Toodles, why you texting me that? I don't care. But anyway, y'all, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Do you think she played that old man? Do you think she intentionally took them gifts and wasn't planning on with him? Because that's what he wanted. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're returning, you know how we like to do it. Like, comment, and share this video. I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.